Hello everyone, and today I'm going to give you my review of Trolls 2. You may be wondering why I have Shrek 2 here as a little piece of art here. Well, it's because one of the animators for this movie Trolls also did the animation for Shrek 4, Forever After. That may not be the best of the Shrek movies. The third and fourth really could derail from the first two, but regardless, yeah. I got to see this as a double feature with Doctor Strange. I saw Doctor Strange, and I got to see this movie right afterwards, because I was curious enough to see this movie, because I'm like, well, this looks silly, like, it looks like it's for kids, but I'm like, I heard it got some seriously good reviews, so I'm like, alright, let's see Trolls, let's see how this movie is. Trolls is a real surprise. I'm gonna straight up say it to you. It's a surprisingly fun film. Is it a great film by any means? Is it one of the best animated movies of the year? Is this like a Zootopia, Kung Fu Panda 3, or Kubo and the Two Strings, or Finding Dory? No, it's not any of those. It's not as great as any of those four films. But Trolls is a fairly fun movie. Essentially, these two characters in this small type of troll community. You got Poppy in this community of theirs, who's voiced by Anna Kendrick. Is she's very optimistic and very leader-like and very brave and ambitious and very, very wide-eyed character. Kind of bland, but you kind of do get just of her character as they go on. And essentially, she meets up with this character named Branch, voiced by Justin Timberlake, and who's essentially a polar opposite. He's just completely depressed, and they embark on a bit of an ambitious adventure that takes them far beyond, their own journeys, and you have to get this character back from this weird race that exists in all over the world. This movie was really surprisingly fun and cute. It's really kind of fun. It's not terrible by any means, but it's not great by any means as well. I did enjoy myself with this film. Yeah, okay, I want to do that. But really, I thought this movie was really fun. It has some really nice animation. It was fun, vibrant. It had a really good message of this, being a really sweet, kind, honest, and kindred spirit. How both of these characters really do balance off each other, but she's constantly being almost she's being passive aggressive, but she knows her own character attributes, and she's like, okay. You can kind of tell she's just kind of tolerating him he's kind of doing the same with her. It's they kind of have a bit of an opposite type of feeling about each other, but they're okay, don't regard, trust him. He could be your friend, maybe not. If he isn't, I make mistakes. Really, I found this film to be very, very pleasing for his own sake, and stupid fucking hater. Sorry, especially because this is this review is not for kids. It's not because it's really no, it's not. But I did really find myself surprised by this film, and I was taken back. I'm really, I thought this was going to be really silly, mindless, but it really did have a sweet core to it of just kindness, patience, and tolerance to it. And I really did, for a kids movie, I really loved that message of being patient and sticking through with the ones, even when they drag you down, even if they're a pain in the butt, even if they're a weak link in your own group, their friend or family or whatever they may be, and you should care for them along the way. They are a part of you, and they're trying to help after all, essentially, and you give credit for that is really just a beautiful thing, and I really did love that message in this movie. Also the animation is fairly good. I will say, granted, it's not anything spectacular, but you know what? It's fine. I did, for at least in my taste, I really did enjoy it. And the voice acting is really good. The soundtrack is very good. I will say, like, of course, Justin Timberlake is a really great musician, and I like in the movie. There's a song of there's something to feeling that okay. I won't sing. I can't sing for shit. I'm sorry. But there's a lot of just different like songs in this movie, like Hair Up, Can't Stop the Feeling, Move Your Feet, Dance. It's just really sweet. It's like, quite fun. The songs like there's kids like actually there was like kids who were actually really getting into it. And watching the movie, I saw like beginning across the theater, I could see the parents actually getting into the story as well. And I will say the ending really takes you for. I wouldn't say it's like whoa, what in the world? Is like it goes into a direction where you don't think it is going into, and yet it has the strength to acknowledge that they could have done the typical routes, but they really do acknowledge that, and it's like this is something different. And like I actually really did find myself like not big of a spoiler, but in the end, these two characters become close friends, but they're saying, you know what, do we have something between us? We don't know, but they really do like it, and I thought it was a really sweet. I wouldn't say it's a tear moment, but it was like, aww, moment. There's some really sweet moments where just like pluck your heart. It's like, oh, how sweet or cute. And seeing how kids, I think last year in my review of The Good Dinosaur, I said this. When I saw the movie The Lone Dinosaur, that Land Before Time wannabe of Pixar from last year, one of the biggest negatives I had about that is that the kids were never invested in that film. They were distracted, at least in my experience. And this film experience, it was a little bit like that, but it's like, they were at least still paying attention. They were at least getting hooked on the story and hooked with the characters, and they went along. Also, like I said before, the voice casting is great. Justin Timberlake is great. Anna Kendrick, Gwen Stefani, James Corden, Russell Brand. They all do great voice work, and I like the animation. I like the story. So for me, it was like, yeah, Trolls is surprisingly fun. It's not half bad in my opinion. It's granted, the story is cliched. There's a lot of dumb moments, and some moments are fairly cliched, and it's definitely not among my favorites of the year. But you know what? Do not underestimate Trolls, and if you have young kids that you know of, take them to see this movie. I guarantee they will really enjoy it. I don't know 100% sure for if you're over the age of like 15, then you'd be like, okay, this movie's not my taste. But if you're under like 13, then I will thoroughly say you will have a blast with this film. So yeah, or if you know anyone who's under that age of 13, then they will really enjoy the film. So yeah, in the end, Trolls is a surprisingly fun film. Is it a great one by any means? Is it one of my favorites? No, but you know what? It's not bad. And I'm going to give Trolls, in my opinion, a 68%. I really did have I personally really did have a really I won't say spectacular, but it was a real surprise of how fun this movie was and how sweet and cool it was at times. So for me, yeah, 68 is an appropriate review. And it's an appropriate rating because in the end it is average. But its pros are really good. And I would like to recommend it for anyone who's under the age of 13, in my mind. Sure. My voice is going. I'm tired. I'm not feeling that great. But in the end, yeah, Trolls are surprisingly good. And I will see you later this week because I will see Hacksaw Ridge in the future within the next week. Till then, everyone, hope to see you guys in the future for that review. Until then, have a good Sunday. Till then, goodbye.